Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to upload a video every single week. Let's see how that goes. I am reading from my notes again because I have not made videos like this without the crutch of, showing you guys plants and we can just talk about the plants. So I think I'm still maybe just a little bit not used to talking on camera just like this. And also it's been over a year since I've done this, so just bear with me. I think eventually I'll find my groove again. So now I'm just gonna rely on my little notes. So we've been back from camping for about 2 weeks now. If you haven't checked out the video, that's kind of my first video coming back. Posting videos is my camping video. It was the first time that we went hot tenting. For those of you who don't know what hot tenting is, I think it's basically having a wood burning stove in your tent. We've been camping for a few years now and we really love it as a family. And also during the late fall and winter months, I tend to get quite down and sad. Not only because it's so cold here in Canada, because I was from Taiwan, so I'm more used to the really hot, humid climate. It's not just the cold, but also how dark it gets for so many months. It really brings my mood and energy down. And so then I started thinking if we could go camping at least maybe once a month in those cold months, maybe I'll have something to look forward to and it'll really be something to bring up my spirit. That's when I started looking into how do we camp in winter seasons. And originally when we first started camping, we were doing van camping. That's what I kind of thought we could do. During the winter month, we'll get the van to be very insulated, maybe find some heat source, and we'll be warm enough to sleep in the van. But because we have a 13-year-old lab, I don't know if my tripod is just getting lower and lower. Is it? Sorry. Okay, what was I saying? So because we go camping with Buddha, and he's our 13-year-old chocolate lab, and sleeping in the van is just not ideal for him. I don't know what happened, but during his older, senior years, he started to get a lot of anxieties going on long drives in the car. Last year, when we were driving to our campsite, he had peed in the car, and he's just panting, even if we have the windows open. There's just a lot of anxiety for him. But yeah, so he doesn't feel comfortable in the van. And the last time we went van camping with him, in the middle of the night, he was just moving around and he couldn't sleep. And then eventually he just puked all over the van in the middle of the night. And we had just been warned by the park ranger that there are bears on the campsite, in the campground, and do not have anything that smells like food anywhere near you. Make sure you have your doors locked in your car, keep all the food in the car, and lock the car. But Jordan just had to carry all these puke cover blankets to the river to kind of try to wash it off, and then just hang all these heavily scented blankets all over our campsite in pitch black. So of course he was quite scared. But anyway, so van camping with Buddha right now is just out of the question for us. So as I was doing my research, very quickly I learned about hot tenting, having a wood burning stove in the tent, and I just love the idea. I don't know, I think many of you could probably understand how I feel about a wood burning stove. It's just everything cozy, and to be able to do it outdoors, in a tent. I just watched so many videos. I learned so much, and there are just so many safety precautions as well. But after doing so much research, I finally committed to getting a wood a tent that's has a wood burning a wood stove jack, so a place where the pipe could go through, and then getting it is going down. Do you see my tripod is moving because the camera is too heavy for this little phone tripod. Okay. Anyway, so then I got this whole setup and we got to try it the last time we went camping at Golden Years Provincial Park. And it was just everything I had hoped for. It was so warm and so cozy, even though it wasn't quite so hot yet. Quite so cold yet outside. it was quite chilly, especially in the morning and in the evening. So we really got to experience this like nice, cozy, like inside the tent. And we were just in there having coffee, hot chocolate, playing cards. And we're really looking forward to our camping trip in a couple of weeks again. And it's going to be much colder, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you want to check that out, the video is, I'll put the link in the description box below. But also we'll be camping again in a couple of weeks, and I will be vlogging again for sure. And one thing I really love about camping is actually just like coming home. So the whole process, you know, like the looking forward to camping and the camping itself, being like in nature. I love cooking on the camping stove, the quiet, and even just like walking around the campgrounds and looking at other people's campsites. I love it. People are so creative. There's so many different ways they set up their cozy home for the time space, and I just really like being there. So I love that. But also like packing up and then coming home, and just like all of a sudden I am reminded to not take so many things for granted that I have been taking for granted in my daily life. You know, like having hot water, having a flushing toilet that's in a warm space, and there are no spiders all over the wall kind of watching you do your business. Having a sink, you know, like you doing dishes with warm water instead of cold water, mattress, just like camping and then coming home. These like little simple lives, like simple pleasures and luxuries. It really just reminded me to appreciate, like immerse myself and just fully like sink into the comfort of being at home. And I think it's really timely right now too, because it's like, it's fall now and it's getting cold outside. So we've been just staying home a lot. We're also like outside a lot too. We like to walk everywhere, but I've just been doing a lot of cooking at home. In the past week, I've made jam, I made sourdough pizza for ourselves, and I had a couple extra doughs and I shared it with my friends. I made sauerkraut because Jordan's been asking for me to ferment some sauerkraut. I've been on a kimchi kick. I just made like so much kimchi, and I love kimchi so much, but I think the flavor is just too strong for him and he wants sauerkraut. So I made sauerkraut, and of course like regularly every day, like not every day, but at least twice, 3 times a week, I make fresh sourdough bread. It makes me really happy. Like being in the kitchen, I feel like that's kind of like my art studio. I get to create, and I can share these creations with the people that I love. Yeah, it brings me so much joy to open up the fridge and just see so many things inside the fridge I have made from scratch myself, like seeing the jam there, my natto, orange marmalade, the fermented vegetables. It makes me feel really good. So this past week, we've also experienced some atmospheric river. It's been happening, I think, the past couple years. You just have these few days where there's just like so much downpour. So we've had a few days of that like really, really heavy rainfall. So we've been also just kind of like staying put. During one of the days, Wolfie was invited to his best friend's house to have a play day. And we're very committed to just walking, even though it was like pouring. So Wolfie put on his rain jacket and he scootered over, and we walked him over and dropped him off, and then we walked back home. We're soaked, even though we were wearing like our rain jackets, my pants, my socks, my shoes, we were all soaked. But anyway, so we came home and we just like read for a bit, and I made some popcorn. And I've been trying different flavors. I've tried putting some marshmallows in the popcorn. It melted really unevenly. So that needs to be improved, but Wolfie really liked it. And this time, when Jordan and I were home by ourselves, we decided to watch a movie, so I made popcorn. And I just mixed nutritional yeast with garlic powder and some salt, and I just tossed everything together. And that was really good. And we sat down and watched A Man Called Otto, I think that's what it's called, by Tom Hanks. The book that the movie was adapted from is called A Man Called Ov, a novel by Frederick Bachman. Such a good book. It's so lovely, and I enjoy reading it so much. I had originally watched the film. I think it was filmed before A Man Called Otto was made. A Man Called Ov, and it's a Swedish film. And I think I enjoyed that version better. But still, I think just read the book and watch both movies. They're all really enjoyable. But yeah, I got to just like sit at home and watch a movie with Jordan while Wolfie had his play day at his friends. That was really nice. Yeah, that's kind of been my week. I've just been still like busy with Wolfie's activities, busy in the kitchen, and then trying to really like amp up the self-love, actually. I've been reading more self-help, spiritual books to really put myself in that mindset. And I've already noticed a huge difference for me this week. I've also started doing these like somatic movements because I feel like I've done years of therapy, but having so much anxiety just informs me that I'm still holding on to so much trauma in my body. So I've been doing these somatic movements, and I find it to be so relaxing. And my naturopath actually taught me how to do some tapping to like help me help calm down my nervous system. So a lot of times when I feel the anxiety come up, I'll just start telling myself, like, I'll just tap and tell myself, like, I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm not gonna die, I'm gonna be here for Wolfie, I'm gonna be an old grandma, and when I'm ready to die, my death will be beautiful. Just trying to send these messages to my brain and my body at the same time. And I find that tapping has been really helpful as well. Yeah, I haven't really told you guys, but I have a lot of health anxiety. I've had a lot of people pass away this past year, and my mom passed away when I was 10. So my anxiety around death has really amplified lately, especially like I feel like my ego is so tricky. It knows that I have this anxiety, and then it'll just like, you just go to Wolfie and just look how beautiful, how much your son loves and needs you. Like, how could you leave him? Like, what if something happens? My brain just kind of spirals in this narrative. So I've been struggling a lot with that. But as I was saying, I have been really focused on kind of cementing and like having a lot of self-love, self-care routines, and like reading literature that is calming and like helpful and guiding me. Yeah. I've also feel like it's been a sign, like kind of everywhere I look, I've been reminded, like, have you been praying? Do you pray? So this morning when I was lying in bed, I just started like having these prayers in my mind. You know, I pray over my son, I pray over Jordan, I pray over my dad, I pray over my siblings, and I prayed over my grandma, who I lost one grandma earlier this year, and my other grandma, she's 95, and she's been sleeping for about 2 months now. She'll wake up for one meal. She doesn't talk much anymore. So I'm also kind of bracing myself for another loss, but I'm also just praying for her to just be comfortable and like to be at ease through this process. Yeah. So yeah, this past week, I actually have been feeling better than I have in a really long time. And I think this is also why I'm sitting in front of the camera now, that I have the space to start connecting, to start creating. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. I guess since we're rambling about our week, also speaking of like creativity, I've also decided to embark on learning how to draw again. I used to take drawing lessons when I was younger, but I wasn't disciplined. I gave that up, and I kind of just I just doodle. I don't really draw anymore. And I really feel inspired to be able to draw quite well. So I picked up this book that's really like highly recommended. It's called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. The one that I got is like this black, so you can't really, there's no book cover. but you can see the name of the book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. It's been a very fun journey. I'm on page 72. She talks so much about how much we rely on the left side of our brain to go through life, and drawing can really help you move towards the right side of the brain, which is more, I guess, fluid and creative and like in the moment. They make such a good argument about how helpful that is, even if you don't care to have like the skill of drawing, but like what it does for your brain and for your well-being. I really think it makes such a good point. And there are some exercises, and I've been doing some exercises, and it has been really meditative. I've noticed that I will have a session of drawing, and I'm just like, doing the drawing, and then afterwards I will feel lighter and my brain will feel clearer. And I think, I am really enjoying this process. And even if it's just like a little time away from like the distractions, like looking at the phone, I think it's doing tremendous good for my brain. All right. I think I've been rambling on for a really long time now. I hope you guys enjoy this video. And thank you so much for those of you who have watched and who have liked my videos and commented. I've received so many warm welcome backs from your YouTube comments and like Instagram comments. I really, really appreciate that. And it's really reminded me of how much I enjoy being a YouTuber, posting, connecting with you guys. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys again next week. Bye.